Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Right now, we are watching a system set to bring rain to our area for most of the day tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Eric Miller. Monday is going to be a WRAL weather alert day, and meteorologist Anthony Baglione is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with when that rain should arrive. Anthony.
Eric, this is likely going to get here closer to, I would say, about 11 p.m. and midnight. We're going to track those outer areas of rain, and then it really starts to fill in on our Monday. Hopefully all of you, though, had a great weekend. Thanks for joining us this evening. Let's talk about where we sit at the moment. Definitely a potent storm system, potent line of storms down into the deep south. They have tornado watches, some tornado warnings. We are not looking at that. This is just going to be a really inconvenient rainfall that we desperately need to kind of get all the pollen out of the way, too. Here's 6 o'clock right about now. We start us off on Futurecast. We head into tonight. This model's a little bit optimistic with that timing. I would say probably at the earliest, about 9 to 10 p.m. we could see a few light areas of rain, but then closer to midnight and then after midnight is when it really starts to fill in. The morning commute is wet. Most of our Monday is going to be wet. We could see a few isolated storms, but there's 7 o'clock. Most of the rain that's showing up right there would be very showery coverage. It's where it's just kind of coming down a little bit lighter. It may get it a little bit heavier at times. Not necessarily any huge concern as far as severe weather or any concern for us at this point. There's lunchtime. We go through the afternoon. We continue to track some scattered storms there and showers through the afternoon into the evening. 90% chance of rain all day long, so just make sure to have that rain gear with you. We are looking at probably maybe up to about 2 inches in some spots there, Eric, for the rainfall totals. 1 3/4 certainly a good bet for us tomorrow. We will track when this gets out of here, though, and some much colder temperatures on the way coming up here in a few minutes.
Be looking out for it, Anthony. Thank you. To a heartbreaking tragedy now along I-95. A Raleigh mother and her 4 children were killed in a fiery crash in Georgia. The Bureau's Liz McLaughlin is live at the family's home with how neighbors are remembering them. Liz.
Yeah, Eric, the family had just moved into this quiet cul-de-sac just a few months ago, and neighbors describe the family as sweet, joyful, that the kids often played in this yard, the boys climbing these trees right here, and now that laughter is sorely missed on this street. Troopers say 27-year-old Reagan Dugan was driving a rented Jeep Grand Cherokee on I-95 in McIntosh County, Georgia, early Sunday morning. The SUV struck a sedan and then a guardrail before bursting into flames. Dugan and her 4 children, ages 9, 4, 2, and just 3 months old, were all killed. These photos posted by Dugan on Facebook offer a glimpse into their lives.
We always waved at each other. She always had a smile on her face. The kids were always happy. Their food always smelled good when they cooked it. So it was something that we never really got to share any time together, but passing by, like, I couldn't even imagine them just here, there, now, and then gone the next.
Reagan Dugan was on her way to Florida to visit her husband, who's been notified about the accident. The passenger in the other vehicle was taken to the hospital. Live in Raleigh, I'm Liz McLaughlin, WRAL News.
People living in Hoke County can drink their water again without having to boil it. The county ended its boil advisory at 3 this afternoon. This impacted people living in the Rockfish and Gillis Hill communities. A water main in that area was damaged. Rockfish Fire gave out bottled water to try to help people. Drinking water was also distributed at Rockfish Hoke Elementary School. The county says tests confirmed that water there is once again safe for people to use. We told you yesterday about Triangle firefighters who headed to Kentucky to help with historic flooding there. It didn't take long for them to spring into action. Raleigh firefighters, along with those from Chapel Hill, Durham, and Wake EMS, helped 12 people and 3 pets evacuate from flooded homes last night in Frankfort. The Swiftwater rescue teams left early yesterday morning and could be there for up to 2 weeks, depending on the need. The Kentucky River in Frankfort is expected to reach 49.5 feet tomorrow morning, which would break the flood level record for that river. Covering Wake County now, there's a court appearance tomorrow for a man Apex police say drove into and killed the grandmother of his child. This all happened Friday night around 10 on Apache Lane. 35-year-old Bradford Brown is charged with voluntary manslaughter. Police say the incident started as a custody dispute between Brown and his child's grandparents. Police say Brown drove the vehicle into the child's maternal grandmother, killing her. More charges are possible in this case. Chapel Hill police are still searching for the person who carjacked a student at gunpoint. This all happened on Saturday morning on West Franklin Street. WRAL's Laura Levine has the latest on that investigation and how UNC students are feeling.
The Carolina Square parking deck is a prime location on a bustling West Franklin Street, a busy spot to park and shop or eat for locals and especially students at UNC.
I got the Alert Carolina, like our warning system, texted me, and then I just told them. I was like, damn, that's so close to where we live.
Yeah, I didn't realize like things like that happened here. I think I was just like a little taken aback.
These students at Granville Towers Student Housing tell me they were alarmed to hear what happened. Police say around 12:45 Saturday morning, a student was carjacked here at gunpoint. The suspect took off with their vehicle, and it was later found in Durham.
So you were telling me you're just now learning of this?
Yeah, so I live on South Campus. I didn't know this happened. They live here.
Vin Bertoldo says he didn't know about the incident until I approached him. He hopes more safety protocols could be implemented.
It's terrifying. Also, just because I feel like there's I don't see security that often. I don't see, there's police officers, but more than that, I don't really see any UNC security.
There are a few visible cameras around the entrances and exits of the parking deck. Meanwhile, Chapel Hill police ask everyone to remain vigilant.
I mean, just always having someone to walk with, obviously never be alone.
Let's make sure that we're all walking together.
Laura Levine, WRAL News, Chapel Hill.
And Saturday's carjacking comes after a similar incident in Carborough on Wednesday afternoon. Anyone with information about these crimes should call police. Another protest this weekend in Chapel Hill. Today, demonstrators gathered around UNC for what they called the Surround the Grounds protest. The Trump administration has triggered a legal and ethical firestorm by targeting international students at U.S. colleges for deportation. Some of those students participated in pro-Palestinian protests or activities on college campuses. These protesters say it's a critical free speech matter.
We believe that every person has the right to free speech, and there should not be fear and consequences associated with that in a free democracy.
And the protest this afternoon stayed peaceful. No roads were blocked. Tonight, the man who created Dreamville will finish out the festival on its final night at Dix Park in Raleigh. J. Cole grew up in Fayetteville. He's headlined every year and helped grow Dreamville into the marquee event it's become. WRAL's Aaron Thomas is live tonight. Aaron, how are those music fans feeling?
So right now, Eric, of course, the vibes are riding high, but I can tell you from based on the people that we spoke with, a lot of people, they're feeling bittersweet. There's up there a range of emotions. This has become an annual tradition for a lot of people and the inception of this festival from back in 2019. And for some people, it's their first time. So just showing you a lot of the people that continue to come in and out. One of the best parts is we've been meeting a lot of people that have come from all over the country. We've met people from North Carolina as well as folks from outside the country and around the globe. They'll tell you that being out here is like being around family members all vibing to the same beat. Now, we ran into a gentleman who's visiting from D.C., and here's how he's making the most of this music-filled weekend.
We've been having fun. It's great. We're connecting with a whole lot of people at the same time, and J. Cole's one of my favorite artists, so I hope I get to go meet him backstage.
That's a huge goal that he's wishing for, getting to meet the superstar J. Cole backstage. But another live look here at Dix Park, we see the tens of thousands of people that continue to flood in as the night draws closer. We're waiting for rapper Glorilla to take the stage just within the next 20 minutes or so. And then we also have Tim's and Erykah Badu. They're some of the performing acts. And then J. Cole, of course, will be headlining. The question is, will J. Cole be bringing out any guest stars to join him on stage? We hope to have that question answered beginning on our late news at 10 on Fox 50 and WRAL News at 11. Aaron Thomas, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Yeah, we know Aaron will be staying on top of it. Well, still to come, giving the gift of life. We speak with a family from our area who is able to not just help keep someone alive, but meet the person they were able to save, all after losing their daughter. The family's message about helping others next. Then the sun is out now, but come tomorrow, we are set to see some storms. Meteorologist Anthony Baglione is back with the timeline for tomorrow's WRAL Weather Alert Day and when we could see a cool down. A chase, an officer assaulted, and what some feel was a slap on the wrist from the courts.
What was your reaction when you heard that was the sentence?
I was kind of dumbfounded.
And Monday at 6, WRAL investigates the case caught on tape, including a police chaplain who helped get the suspect under control. We're asking why that suspect, who faced 8 felonies, got less than a year in jail. The DMV will be expanding its weekday hours at a majority of offices starting tomorrow morning. An additional 42 DMV offices will be open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. This comes as many people are rushing to get their real ID before that May 7th deadline. DMV Commissioner Wayne Goodwin says the extended hours mean 80% of the state's DMV offices will now stay open 10 hours a day. April is Donate Life Month. Health advocates are getting the word out on the life-saving impact that organ donation can have, including for a local Fuquay-Varina family and a Virginia family who are now forever linked, thanks to the gift of life.
For the Minsk family, it's an echo of the past.
That's a steady heartbeat.
The heartbeat of their 15-year-old daughter, Selena.
She loves to go on adventures. We'd take her on trips with us, cruises, and she was just very, sorry, I'm getting a little teary-eyed here, but she was just amazing.
Selena's life was cut short 2 years ago after a severe allergic reaction to a cookie that they were told was nut-free that turned out to be made almost entirely of almond flour. John and Maida Minsk first shared their story with WRAL that same year.
And she was literally suffocating. It was like the worst thing. I will never forget that.
Despite doctors' best efforts, Selena passed away. But thanks to a decision that John and Maida made, that wasn't the end of Selena's story.
When we were approached, it wasn't really a decision. It wasn't a hard decision, I guess. It was just like, well, yeah, let's donate our organs.
That donation ended up saving lives, including Haley Poor's.
I'm focusing body.
In February, the Minsk family finally got the chance to meet Haley and the rest of the Poor family and listen to the heart their daughter gave.
Every little special moment in her life, I want them to be a part of it, too.
These two families now say they're only growing closer as Selena's gift continues to beat on each and every day.
Honestly, like, she's a hero. She saved 5 lives. And I mean, she's a spiritual warrior. And I think she was here for a purpose.
And the Minsk family wanted to take this opportunity to highlight not only the importance of being an organ donor, but also to always be vigilant about the danger that food allergies can pose. Well, shifting gears now to our forecast. Anthony, I know we've spent a lot of time talking about what this storm has done across the rest of the country. It's definitely bringing rain to our area, but a different outlook than what we've seen across the Midwest.
Yeah, it's this same front that's been causing a whole bunch of issues, Eric, the past couple of days. But at the moment, I want to start us off kind of with what we're seeing with this line and then what we're going to expect here through the next couple of hours, next couple of days. You see, though, down to the, let's say, Macon, Georgia area, there is a tornado warning ongoing at this point. The line itself, though, as it pushes up into North Carolina, there may be an isolated strong storm west of us. I'm not expecting to see any strong storms for us tonight, but you can see the rainfall. Let's start us off here on Futurecast. We continue to watch this push in probably closer to about midnight, maybe at the earliest, I would say between about 10 to 11 p.m. But I think this timing might be a little bit optimistic. We're going to see this start to push in. And then once it's here, rounds of rain, rounds of a few storms, I should say, through the majority of our forecast tonight, tomorrow into late Monday night before this tapers off into Tuesday morning. Look at, though, as we head here closer to, let's say, lunchtime tomorrow, still this what we call training area of rain. It's basically some showers that just keep on feeding on themselves. It pulls in a whole bunch of moisture. That's what we'll go for here through the majority of tomorrow. This is very much needed rainfall, though. Most of North Carolina is very dry, and we also have, of course, the pollen that's just all over everything. We may see up to 2 inches. You see outlined in that kind of purple shaded area just to the north of Wake County. Let's say between 1 to 2 inches for our entire viewing area by the time this is all said and done. There's the good news as far as the pollen. Look at that. It goes down to low tomorrow. Shouldn't be too noticeable. Tuesday, Wednesday, though, yeah, it goes back up into the medium category. We're not quite off the charts there Tuesday, Wednesday, but it will be more noticeable into the middle part of the week. Temperatures, though, going to be our other big story as that front comes through. So at the moment, we sit at 84 in Raleigh and Durham, 79 there in Roxborough. We hit a high temperature about 87, 88 degrees this afternoon, so not quite to 90 like we saw yesterday as far as getting close to 90, but not quite there. And then we go through tonight, most of us waking up, let's say, into the upper 60s tomorrow morning. 62 there in Roxborough, 67 in Raleigh. The interesting thing that with our temperatures tomorrow, as opposed to what we usually see during the afternoon where we'll get our high temperature, these temps you see right there likely during the first half of the day. So it may be 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning where we see a high of 72 there in Raleigh, and then they continue to trail off a little bit through the afternoon. Probably, let's say, between about 65 to 72 all day long in the Triangle. Could see an 80-degree reading there for our far southern counties, and again, that trails off through the day. So afternoon temperatures actually a little bit cooler than the morning. Look at our morning temperatures, though, through the next couple days. So Monday morning, 67, probably 67 to about 70. Tuesday morning, as that front comes through, 46 degrees. And then Wednesday morning, we're at 34, close to freezing. The National Weather Service is already mentioning freeze warnings or watches are likely going to be coming out for some of us on Wednesday morning. So a huge temperature spread compared to the close to 90-degree temperatures we've seen the past couple days. 72 for us there on Monday, 59 on Tuesday, 60 on Wednesday. The middle part of the week looks really good. And then, Eric, we get another system coming in. Friday at this point does look pretty wet, as well as our Monday tomorrow.
A lot to look out for. Anthony, thank you very much. And speaking of a lot to process, Pat, still for those Duke fans after that game last night. That was insane.
I still cannot believe they lost. Can't imagine how the players are feeling. So let's talk about something a little bit more positive. How about the women's national championship, and the future of UConn basketball begins in the Triangle? I'll tell you why next. We were lucky enough to witness goal number 892 in Raleigh. This was my view of Alex Ovechkin's goal in celebration Wednesday. The great chase finally coming to an end today. Ovi is officially the greatest goal scorer of all time.
They're going to try to force it to him if he's open. Here is Ovechkin. Shoots. He scores! He scores! Number 895!
Goal number 895 coming on an absolute rocket with the great one, Wayne Gretzky in the house. Ovechkin with the most goals in NHL history, and it came at the New York Islanders, but you wouldn't know it. The crowd went crazy and the game came to a complete halt. Ovechkin addressing the crowd in a ceremony after the game.
Like I always say all the time, it's a team sport, and without my boys, the whole organization, the fans, the trainers, coaches, I would never stand there, and obviously I would never pass a great one. So, fellas, thank you very much. I love you so much. And the last thing, all of you fans, for the whole world, Russian, we did it, boys. We did it. It's a history. Yeah!
Ovechkin also thanked his wife, his family, there's his kids right there, and Islanders goaltender and fellow Russian Ilya Sorokin for letting him score. Cooper Flagg named the Naismith Player of the Year Sunday. He won virtually every major award. He just came up one shot and one trophy short. Luis Fernandez and Chris Lee try to make sense of Duke's collapse versus Houston in Baseline Thoughts.
It's tough to put all of this in perspective. I think that Duke basketball has had a couple of moments like this throughout the past 2-3 decades, where you have a team that is incredibly talented, and you feel like they are going to win it all. They're playing great basketball, and then they stumble. We said before the game got started, Chris, when you and I were just talking, that as long as Duke doesn't play their worst game of the season, they should beat Houston. They didn't play their worst game of the season, but they played their worst 10 minutes.
Duke only scored less than 70 points this season twice. It was this game where they lost to Houston, and that same game at Wake Forest where they went basically scoreless for like 10 minutes between the first and second half. But Wake Forest just didn't have the firepower or the defense to really hold Duke back. This Houston team had that. And they have LJ Cryer was amazing, but I was going to bring up Kelvin Sampson, a very long tenured coach, 69 years old. He's been there, done that. He's been through it all, and now he has a chance to possibly win his first national title. And you saw probably the difference in coaching right there. Not that John Shire's a bad coach. He's an amazing coach on the rise, but he's in year 3. Kelvin Sampson is in year 37, 38, and that was the difference in this game.
This is going to be a game, and to state the obvious here, this is going to be a game that Duke players, Duke coaches are just going to have a really hard time processing and moving past. And when you get to this stage and you fall short, that's tough.
All right, let's get to the women's national championship. Paige Beckers and UConn taking on South Carolina. Final game for Beckers, but the program set up for the future with Sarah Strong, the Fuquay-Varina native, the top freshman in the country, so skilled around the basket. Basketball IQ well beyond her years here. Dad played at NC State, mom in the WNBA. Third quarter, she puts them up 70-44. UConn wins their 12th national title, 82-59, Eric.
And there's always going to be a North Carolina tie in championship basketball. Pat, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. NBC Nightly News is next. We'll see you back here at 10 and 11 o'clock.